Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys the easiest way you can make a cold brew at home. It's super simple. All you need are essentially 3 things. So the main thing is this cold brew maker. I'll link this in the description below so you guys can buy it if you want. It's super simple to use and it's really easy to make your cold brew with, so I do suggest getting this one. The other one being your coffee grinder and your beans. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is grind our beans. These are the beans that I'm currently using. They are called the Costa Rica SL28 by Stereoscope Coffee. So we're going to open this up. And just a pro tip, always check the roast date on your coffee beans. You want to make sure you're using them just a week after they're actually roasted. Don't use them the second they're freshly roasted. So we're going to go ahead and measure 85 grams of beans here. And so once we have those 85 grams of beans, we'll go ahead and put it into our grinder. And we want to make sure that we're grinding our beans at probably the highest grind settings you have. It smells so good. All right, what I like to do is always make sure that if you have leftover beans, I try to at least put them in a vacuum sealed container so that they stay fresh for a lot longer. So once you're done with grinding out your beans, the rest is really simple. I'm gonna go ahead and take this filter out and make sure that you're pouring all of this into the net over here. It's a super coarse grind basically, so nothing really should be coming out of the filter here. You can fill this up with water first, but what I like to do is I like to put the filter in with the beans, and then I like to slowly pour my filtered water into the beans so that it kind of soaks the beans in and then drips the water down into the coffee. So this might take a little bit of time, but honestly it's pretty satisfying to do and it's pretty worth it. So it's gonna slowly start filling up, and we wanna make sure that we're filling up to basically over 4 cups, about 1 liter, and just below where the max line is over here. As you guys can see, it's filling up pretty fast. It's really simple. You just gotta wait for the water to go through. And that's pretty much it. Now we're gonna cap it up, and I'm gonna leave it sitting here overnight. I don't wanna put it in the fridge because it's gonna take longer to brew if it's in the fridge. So as long as you leave it in room temperature outside, it should be completely fine and it will brew overnight. I'm gonna let it rest right here overnight, and then we're gonna come back to it first thing tomorrow morning. Now, I love making espresso, I love making lattes and everything like that, but for this coffee, basically, it has some pomegranate, pink grapefruit, and cacao flavoring. This flavor is absolutely amazing, and if I really wanted to taste all the flavors in that, I always make it into a cold brew so I can actually taste what it's supposed to taste like. So after about 16 to 18 hours of brew time, you are ready to taste your cold brew. After you take out all the grinds out of the cold brew maker, I like to do one thing that's not super necessary, but it definitely does help. And that would actually be filtering out the cold brew coffee. This is so that we don't get any of those bits of grinds that are just too fine for the filter to pass through. And this really filters out any of that, so the cold brew is just super smooth. I will say only do this if you actually do have the time to do it. It's not super necessary, but I do like to taste my cold brew as smooth as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and put the filter in. Swirl this up a little bit. It smells so good actually. So I'm gonna start pouring that through. I'm pouring it on top of ice. And it should flow decently fast. You're not really brewing actual coffee grinds in it. It's just filtering out the liquid. So as you can see, it's going pretty fast. I'm gonna go almost full of this cup and then just add a dash of milk to it just for some flavor after I try the cold brew by itself. It's really good. I will say you just do want to make sure that you are only steeping between 16 to 18 hours. That's kind of the sweet spot that I've had, and you don't want to go over 24 hours or else it's just going to start tasting a bit bitter. When it comes to adding milk to your cold brew, only add a little bit. Do not add a lot. It's more for taste, you're only adding a dash. So we're gonna add a little bit of oat milk right now. So that's pretty much it. It's super easy to make your own cold brew at home. You guys should definitely try it for yourself, especially if you have some really nice coffee beans. But if you guys do have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.